To unpack some of the numbers that came out on the JSE, I'm joined by Bright Khumalo from Vestact Asset Management. Bright, thank you so much for your time. So let's kick things off with looking at the US-China developments. I mean, Trump is a little bit hopeful that they may reach a deal by November. Are you skeptical that even though they may reach a deal, it might take a little bit more time for us to ease some of the pressures that we're seeing on the global front?
Of course, that's a good point you make. I mean, the Chinese, they did say they were not in any rush to do any deal that isn't beneficial to them, as a result, they'll be patient and they'll sit on the negotiation table until they find something that's good for the people of China. So it'll be very interesting to watch, like we've done in the past couple of months. It has provided opportunities here and there, but it's going to take a while. December is around the corner.
All right. So we have the IMF meetings that took place, last week, and a lot of concern was around what's going on the trade front. But also you had comments out of Christine Lagarde saying that, President Trump shouldn't be forcing the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, seeing that, that may spur inflation. However, we do have the Fed Reserve, meeting on October 30th. Are you anticipating a rate cut given some of the economic data that has flowed through?
Yeah, when it comes to that stuff, I don't know what I don't know because, I mean, Trump has definitely used his influence to his benefit in terms of, keeping the rates lower than they should be for longer. And to ask, the question whether we're going to see another 25 basis point rates cut, it's probably priced in the market right now. But again, it's still yet to be seen. We should wait for the meeting to happen and see what the Federal Reserve Board decides on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at some of the results coming out. We saw Baldwin release their numbers today. We had Calgro and Cashbuild put out a trading
update. Yeah. So Cashbuild is a very interesting one. 14 new stores. Those are doing, on average better than the old stores. Old stores lost about 2% in terms of volume, whereas the newer stores, are performing better, which shows you that the company is, has found their niche. They, like, in terms of knowing where to put the stores that are going to be profitable. But the economy is not exactly in a good place right now, and you can see that most of the business from the likes of DIY companies, whether it's CTM or Cashbuild, it's mostly through home improvement. It's not through a lot of new developments. Again, talking about new developments, you look at a company like Calgro, for example, which saw their sales go down by 17%. They say, they're cutting staff costs. You know what that means? That's Latin for saying we're firing more people. And they did say in their financials that they, despite whatever is happening, in the political front and in the economic front, they are slowing purposefully. I think that's what they use. On purpose, they're slowing down new developments because, you remember earlier in the year and last year they had site invasions, squatters, guys abusing construction materials. There was a lot of disasters happening there, and they were one of the better companies because I thought their relationship with the government was symbiotic because they build affordable housing, and you'd want to support a company that builds affordable housing. If you can't get it to the market fast enough, you can have someone with the right skills to do it for you. And now looking at what was the other one?
So we had Baldwin as well.
Oh yeah. That was an interesting one. Very interesting results. Revenues up 19%. 1,309 new units that were sold. The keys handed over. Up 24%. Exciting. But what wasn't really exciting for me is that earnings only went up by 5%, meaning all of those revenues were not converted into profits for the shareholders, mainly because of advertising costs. They were very high. You ask yourself, how long can that go on? But then again, like I say, being a builder or a construction firm, there's nothing that's proprietary that you're doing, right? And the only thing that differentiates you, for example, this time Baldwin was advertising. They were on the lips of one of your friends for a very long time, and that's what helped them get the numbers that they're getting. But it's not trickling down to the bottom line. And until I see that coming down to the bottom line, I wouldn't be too excited about these companies.
All right, throwing into the week ahead, are you expecting any company numbers and which ones?
Yes, I mean, there'll be some clicks numbers which we're expecting to be, good. We saw the trading update coming out. Yeah, there's going to be Anheuser-Busch, InBev. Everyone had forgotten about this giant of a company. They managed to slowly pay down the massive debt that they had in their balance sheet, and that's finally, the company is getting a better rating than it did when it first listed in the JSE, for example. They got that Singapore listing. They were able to raise about 40 billion US dollars or something like that. So things are going well for them, and yeah, that's what we're expecting in terms of company news. I mean, again, we're still in slap bang in the middle of results season in the US. Microsoft, the likes, they're all coming out with results this week. We're going to be watching those very closely.
Okay, have some of them met your expectations, or there are more exciting ones that you're looking to bite your teeth into?
I mean, there was a positive upswing in the share price of Netflix last week. We saw J&J as well, notwithstanding having 100,000 plaintiffs and cases against them, of which they're willing to settle for 4 billion on the one, and there's another 8 billion US dollars one pending. What's interesting is that the share price hasn't gone backwards for J&J, considering what's happening for them. But if you follow the company closely, you'll notice that it actually hasn't gone up in a market that's going up. So that's in essence meaning they're going in reverse. But at a 3% yield, I'll be watching it very closely.
All right, Bright, let's leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That is Bright Khumalo from Vestact Asset Management, keeping us updated on what's happening on the markets front. We're going to take a quick break now, and Zinga Guta and Lompumelelo Siziba will be with you for the rest of your